Hi, good morning, or soon to be good afternoon. Welcome. Today is Monday, December 5th. We will be talking about Alameda County, California real estate market stats today. Behind me is one of my clients' homes in Dublin, which is in Alameda County. And we will be talking about single family homes, condos and townhouses within the whole Alameda County, and we'll also focus in on specifically Dublin. So for every week, we'll look at the county and then a specific city in that county. So let's start with looking at a map of Alameda County. So here we are right here. Includes Fremont, the Tri-Valley area, Dublin, Pleasanton, Livermore, Hayward, going up to Oakland and Berkeley, right? So we call this the East Bay. Right down here is the South Bay, Santa Clara County. Peninsula is San Mateo County, going up to San Francisco, which is its own county. So let's look at the stats. So the stats we're going to be looking at today are number of homes for sale actives, number of homes pending, which is the number of homes that have gotten to contract, which are sold, then days on market, months of inventory, and the median price. So we can see here, we're following a similar cyclical trend of the inventory rising up in the spring, peaking in the summer, and then going down for the winter and the holiday. So we're down here for single family homes in Alameda County. Let's look at the stats here. So for November, so we are kind of in line with 2019, right? 959. So we were definitely a little bit above from the last 2 years, right? The pandemic, which had this really, really low inventory, right? So we're still down from pre-COVID 2018 of 1,500 homes in November, whereas this past November 2022, we only had 959. And we can see the trend here for this year, right? Started very low and then peaked right in the summer of July, 1,500 homes for sale. So now we can see here, we are in line with the pendings, right? So it's a little bit delayed. Same cyclical up and down for the seasons. You can see here, our pendings are definitely down from even before the pandemic, right? So even though actives were lower in 2022 and 2021, the pendings were higher, right? So we can see here, the number of transactions has dramatically declined, right? Going back, looking at pre-COVID of 2018, right here. So how does this affect how fast houses sell? We can see that here. So we can see it was very low, right, during the pandemic. And now we've creeped up a little bit, right? And we're still around what we were pre-COVID, right? So it's definitely higher at the beginning of the year. Beginning of the year was single digits here, 8 days on the market. Now we're about a little over 2 weeks, 16 days before an offer gets accepted, which is, looking back to 2018, is in line with that. And here we see months of inventory. So we're still in a seller's market, right? But not as strong of a seller's market. Whereas during COVID, during the earlier parts of COVID, had less than a month inventory, right? So now we're still in line with what we were before in 2018, but it's definitely higher than it was in last year's. And we see that, right, with the prices. So now let's look at the prices. Once again, we're looking at single family houses, right? So definitely see it peaked here, right, at the beginning of the year, and it's definitely declined. So the peak for Alameda County was in May at 1.5 million. And so we're down So we're down 23% from the peak, right? And the interesting thing is, if we look going back to 2018, 5 years ago, we're definitely above that, right? So it's down, but if you had bought and hold since 2018, you'd still be in the positive, right? So we can see this trend has gone up, but there's the definite decrease here this year. So let's quickly look at condos and townhouses in Alameda County for sale. So we are below inventory numbers of pre-COVID here, right? So they're a little bit higher. And it's the same cyclical seasonal trend that we see from single families as well. So here's an interesting thing to notice is a number similar to single families, the number of sales that have happened has decreased, right? And we're below what we were in 2018 here. 167 condos and townhouses in Alameda County sold last month compared to 215 in November of 2018. We can see we're a little bit above, right, on how long it's taking to sell. So 25 days versus 19 days and 14 days in 2018, right? So we're on an upward trend on days on market. And likely the reason why is we're a little bit higher on the amount of inventory we have, right? So 2.3 months of inventory, greater 1.8 and 2 months, 2018. And we can see here last year, the beginning of this year, very, very low inventory. And how has this affected prices? Because here it's declined as well. 822,000 median price peak in May. Similar to single family houses, the peak was in May, and now we're down. Still up from 2018, but definitely down from last year and this year. So now let's look at Dublin. Right, so we can see the number of homes available for sale has dramatically decreased, right? So we had 32 homes available for sale compared to 79 in 2018. And we can see here in 2021, there was very little inventory, 5 and 6 homes for sale in November and December, right, in Dublin. So here is number of homes that went pending. So we're a little bit below what we were in 2018, right? So number of homes that sold, definitely down. Let's look at how long it's taking them to sell. So we're definitely up, right? So beginning of the year is super fast, right? And now it's taken 23 days, right? Which is more than it took in 2018. And we can see all these single digits, right? The last 2 years, super fast, right? And now things have picked up. I mean, things have slowed down, so the days on market have picked up. Let's see. Months of inventory. So still, right, very low inventory compared to last year. So the peak, right, on the months of inventory was in July, right? And less sellers have put their house on the market. So we can see here, prices are up, but definitely down, right? So the peak for Dublin was 1.8, right? And I would take these numbers with a grain of salt because the actual number of homes that have sold are smaller, right? So there's not that much data on it, right? As we saw on the number of pendings, but it's definitely down. Right, so just to recap, today we looked at Alameda County and Dublin, right? So what are some of the things in Alameda County? We have Pixar, right, owned by Disney, one of the big animation studios. Chevron is headquartered there. I think they announced that they're moving their headquarters, but I think they have a lot of employees still in the San Ramon area. And we have Kaiser as well, right, which is one of the largest employers in the Bay Area. Their headquarters are in, I believe, yeah, they're in Alameda County. So thank you for joining me today, and we will look forward to you next week to look into more stats. All right, hope you have an awesome day.